What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance. This is Happily Ever After, Season 4, Episode 8. And the title of this episode is Nowhere to Run. Starting off with Colt and Larissa. So Colt and Larissa have been fighting a lot, and Larissa says that Colt never takes her side. In the next scene, they show Larissa wants her hair done and Colt won't pay for it, so she's mad. Let's move on to Chantel and Pedro. So Pedro chose to go back with Chantel to the hotel after the discussion with his mother didn't go so well, but he still felt she was disrespectful to his mother. Pedro wants Chantel to meet with his sister to apologize or to go back home to Atlanta. Chantel agrees to try and show up. Let's move on to Russ and Pal. So Pal tells Russ that she wants to have a home birth / like a water birth. And this makes Russ extremely nervous. But he tells her whatever makes her the most comfortable, then that's what they'll do. Pal has also applied for a visa to get her mom to the States. So she's hoping everything will fall through so that her mother can be there in time for the birth. Let's move on to Ashley and Jay. So Jay's sister didn't get the full story and is very disappointed to find out about her brother's actions. Before sending her off, the sister is packing to get ready to go back home, and they start getting back into what happened. You can tell by talking about this, even though Ashley said that she was going to try to move forward and has already somewhat said she's forgiven him and wants to give their marriage another shot, you can tell that Ashley gets upset all over again, just talking about it. Let's move on to Elizabeth and Andre. So it's their baby shower, and Andre doesn't want Elizabeth's sister Jen at the baby shower. But when she shows up, he gets upset. He tells Becky, which is Elizabeth's other sister, who is actually throwing this baby shower for them at her home. So he tells Becky that she's not fair for inviting Jen against his wishes. Then when she begins to let him know she's not getting involved, this man shushes her. I mean, he's just very disrespectful. Like, you're a man and you're talking to another woman like that. He's very disrespectful in my opinion. I mean, you can tell he really doesn't care. He thinks he is a big shot, like he could just tell everybody what to do and everybody should just listen to him. I don't see how Elizabeth ended up with this dude. So Elizabeth and Andre, they end up leaving their baby shower early per Andre's request. He said, let's go, it's time to go. And she got her little belly up and waddled on outside of the door with her crazy tail husband. I mean, you got people throwing you a baby shower. Like I said, I'm sure they didn't pay for a thing because they can hardly afford to keep up rent. And this new apartment that they got, they got help to get that. I mean, they just really frustrate me. And she's starting to get frustrated with him. But this is the thing, like you knew what time it was when you brought the boy over here, and you're allowing that type of behavior. So I don't really feel bad for her. This is the man she chose, so she has to deal with it. Let's move on to Russ and Pal. So Pal FaceTimes her mother and is worried that her mother's visa won't be approved so that she can be with her for the birth. She tells her mom about her birth plans, and her mother doesn't understand it. Her mother is just not with it. Let's move on to Colt and Larissa. So Colt and Larissa have been fighting, which leads to Larissa getting arrested. Colt gives some rehearsed speech about what took place, and Larissa was charged with domestic battery. Let's go back to Chantel and Pedro. So tonight is the meeting between Chantel and Nicole, which is Pedro's sister, and Pedro is expecting Chantel to do the apologizing to his sister. He tells Chantel, does she want to do things his way or her way? It's not long before Nicole waltzes in, sashay in her little two-piece polka dot outfit, sits down and gets straight to it. It's not long before these two start going back and forth and voices elevate. And during this meeting, Pedro isn't neutral, but he sides with his sister. He decides that that's the person that deserves the apology. Nicole tells Chantel that she doesn't deserve Pedro. So Chantel decides to take it as her cue to get up from the table and leave. Pedro takes his time, but soon gets up from the table, goes after his wife, and tells her that he believes that she owes his sister an apology. When Chantel refuses, he tells her to go back to Atlanta. Wait for him there. If she wants to work on the marriage, then she needs to take her tail back to Atlanta and wait for him there. Chantel tells the camera crew, while very emotional, that there's a lot we don't see and her marriage is over. Let's go back to Russ and Pal. Pal's mom's visa was approved and they pick her up from the airport, and Pal is so happy to see her mom, and she's happy that her mom will possibly be there for the birth of the baby. Let's go back to Colt and Larissa. So Colt claims that he doesn't know who called the police, but he thinks someone online did when Larissa posted she needed help on IG. What we're seeing here is the whole IG mess unfold from the view of the 90 Day Fiance camera crew. So Colt goes to place bail for Larissa's release, which was $200. I feel like this man is very calculated. I feel like he shows no emotion when he talks. I don't believe him. I'm not saying Larissa is perfect, but I don't believe him either. Okay, there's his side of the story, there's Larissa's side of the story, and then there's the truth. I don't know who's telling the truth, but I just don't believe him. It's something about him that I just don't believe him. So you guys comment down below. Let me know what you think about his whole breakdown of what transpired the night the police kicked down the door and pinned him to the ground. I mean, do you guys believe Colt's side of the story about what happened, what took place that night? Let's go back to Elizabeth and Andre. So Elizabeth wants Andre to apologize to Jen, her sister. Andre has a problem with Jen talking about him. What kind of man, and I don't understand, what kind of man argues with a woman and then challenges her on what she does all day when he doesn't even have a job? Elizabeth steps in during their meeting because Jen comes to have breakfast with them so that they can talk, and they're going back and forth, but it's more of him trying to, trample over her, talk over her, and just be the idiot that he is. Elizabeth has to eventually step in and basically tell Andre, just shut up. Just shut up, Andre. Just stop, because you're just rambling on and on just to hear yourself talk, and you're not right in this case. You need to apologize to my sister. This is basically what she's telling him, and he just looks stupid. I just can't stand Andre. So yeah, you guys can comment down below what you think about that, because he's a jerk. Let's move on to Chantel and Pedro. So Pedro tells Chantel that he wants to go back to the hotel to get his things to go back to his mom's house. Let's go back to Russ and Pal. Pal's mom is still not in agreement with Pal's birthing plan. The more Pal tries to explain, the more she is getting frustrated and irritated with her mom. Let's go back to Colt and Larissa. So Colt goes to the detention center to pick up Larissa. 2 hours have passed and she still hasn't been released. So I'm really interested to see, with him camping outside of the detention center, if she does come out, is she getting in the car with him? Because she's gonna blame him and say that he is the reason that she's in jail. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. Again, this is season 4, episode 8. And the title of this episode was Nowhere to Run. I look forward to talking to you guys in the comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share, subscribe, plus hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time I make an upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.